Halo Diskas, ini Lia dari Phoenix, Arizona. Gue teman Eka dulu di Sydney, zaman kuliahan. Kami sekarang menetap di Arizona sudah 10 tahun. So Eka minta tolong update untuk COVID 2020 dari sini. Kalian akan mendengarkan 4 wawancara dari high school sampai yang profesional, apa feeling mereka dan pendapat mereka tentang COVID 2020. So enjoy the interview. Hope you guys like it.
Hello Diskas, my name is Caleb. I'm a lighting designer here at Scottsdale Bible Church in Scottsdale, Arizona. 25 years old. So yeah, the way that COVID and quarantine has affected just me personally, I didn't work from home a whole lot. I did a little bit at the beginning, but then I was back in the office. Kids at home, that made it a little bit challenging. But yeah, there's certain things that we just that we used to do as a family don't get to do as much. It's harder to get out and do things. Need to have masks everywhere. That's something to think about. But not affected a whole lot, just personally. Honestly, what I miss most about stuff we used to do pre-COVID, pre-quarantine, all this, is my brother and I, my wife's brother, we used to go out into the desert, just kind of outside our house, and shoot guns, shoot targets, just paper targets, just target practice, just practice. We've both got a few different guns, and just with like COVID and riots and election, all of that kind of made ammo prices go really high, and so it's hard to get ammo to go do that. Guns are all sold out everywhere. You can't get guns. So that used to be kind of a regular part of our life that we used to have fun doing. That's something we just did and really enjoyed, and we haven't been able to do that for a while, and it's probably going to be a little bit before we get to do it again. So over the course of quarantine and COVID, I think what I learned just about myself is kind of my need to just have a routine and just wake up in the morning and read my Bible, maybe work out, whatever it is, kind of before I go to work, and that's a really important time for me. And especially working from home, having kids at home, you kind of wake up and take care of the kids, and then you try and work a little bit and on and off take care of kids during the day, and you just miss routine. That's just not there. I think what I learned most is that how important that is to me, to just be able to have that time that I didn't really have during quarantine. Positive things that came out of COVID quarantine season, especially quarantine specifically, here at the church, we kind of didn't have people come in the church, and we had everyone just kind of watch services online. And from a production standpoint, from a lighting, technical standpoint, we kind of had to learn how to do that better and how to kind of give people the same experience, the same service, but just through the camera lens, basically. And so we got really good at doing that. And now that our doors are back open, now that people are back in the room, kind of in a limited capacity, now we're able to do kind of the best of both worlds, and we're able to figure out how to do that a lot better. So I think I'm kind of grateful for that. We got to go through that to kind of learn and grow. That I could change about all this, and just how the way that things went, that I would want to be different, is at the beginning I think there was kind of a sense of unity, because like around the world, you know, even in America, in our country, in politics, like there was kind of a sense of unity because we didn't know what the virus was, we didn't know what was going on and what to do about it, and there was kind of a little bit of a sense of like, let's be together and kind of figure it out. And as we went further, we started seeing more people, you know, with social distancing and quarantining, people just being isolated. That stirred up a lot of emotions, and people started to, you know, be involved in riots. And the election caused a lot of division, and at least in our country, I think to some degree around the world, we've just become now more divided than we were before. And I think if I could change anything, it would be that we would have just continued to become more unified through it all, and kind of help each other navigate all this. So.
I'm a shift leader here at Blaze Pizza in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm currently going to school at Paradise Valley Community College. My daily life a lot. I moved out for college last year, and I had to move right back in because all of the facilities were closed due to the coronavirus, and now I have to listen to my parents again and live in my home with my sisters. What I miss most about my life before COVID would be not wearing a mask everywhere that I go, because maskne is a horrible thing and it's very real. I don't like having to listen to my parents again. I have enjoyed being able to spend more time with my family and spending a lot of time outdoors, going for hikes and doing things I wouldn't have normally done before COVID. Myself in shape by going for hikes outside and working out just at home with YouTube videos, and I kept myself sane by socializing with my friends at work because we never closed down during COVID, and social media. that has kept me totally sane, and without social media, I would probably be a mess by now. To people around the world, I would say to definitely follow the rules, even though they're not fun. They keep us all safe, and they're going to let us return back to normal as soon as possible. And don't let yourself have no life. Still go out and do things and try to be normal, but still following the rules. What I would change about this whole situation, if I can't take away the virus, would be not having to wear the masks all day. Now I'm going to give you guys a quick tour of how we lays it safe for my job. Okay, so if you look at the floor, we've got stickers for social distancing. Everybody can stand on the sticker to keep the 6 feet apart. We also have every other table closed to keep social distancing and spread apart. And we also have these mats on every table. So if it's flipped to the orange side, the table has been cleaned and disinfected. And when it's on the gray side, we know we need to clean the table and get it ready for the next guest. Say hi guys, hope you're doing well. This is my coworker Riley showing you guys how we make a COVID-safe pizza. So we use gloves, masks, and sanitize all the countertops all the time.
Most definitely. So now I just have to add the last topping, which is basil. And then it's ready. And we made it COVID safe.
Perfect. Bye, Diskas!
Hello Diskas, I'm Bianca, I'm 13. I'm a high school student and I do backing vocals as Gospel Bible.
Hey, I'm Bailey, I'm 22. I'm a master's student and I am one of the worship contractors here at SBC.
So definitely one thing about COVID that affects your life on a daily basis is wearing masks, because that's not normal. You're not used to having something covering your face all the time and it's hard to hear each other. So
I think for myself, I was an undergrad student back in May and my semester got cut short because of COVID. And so I actually graduated college, or didn't really have a graduation. So I kind of just left my senior year and it ended abruptly. So that was probably the biggest change. The thing that I missed the most about life pre-COVID was probably the freedom to build communities and make friendships without the barrier of a mask, or even being able to engage in physical touch with people. Because of social distancing, that being taken away, that really greatly affects the way that you interact with new people and build community.
Yeah, it's definitely harder to make new friends, because usually I do like making a lot of friends when the school year starts because of new students and stuff. But because of like masks and like you can't get close to people, it's really hard to like actually get to know someone. And like just meeting up with your old friends is also really hard because of social distancing rules and all of that.
I think something that I learned about myself in quarantine is maybe the importance that community plays in my life. Again, I left like my senior year of college and then went to living in my parents' house for the first time in a while. And so I kind of let go of my whole life that was here and my community that was here. And that was a really big change. And so I think just taking acknowledgement of the fact that community is huge for me, and that change was so hard to acclimate to.
For me, it's definitely finding out that I was a lot more extroverted than I thought I was. Because before quarantine, I definitely thought of myself as more of an introvert, but when quarantine started and I really couldn't talk to people, I kind of figured out, yeah, I actually do want to talk to people a lot more than I thought I did.
One way that I kept myself mentally sane was making sure that I was sticking to the same rhythms that I had before quarantine to help that adjustment feel smooth. But in terms of mental health, was really like going back to Jesus, right? I'm a Christian, I believe in Jesus, so making sure that I'm keeping him at the forefront of my life when everything feels crazy just helped to keep in perspective, yes, this pandemic is crazy and horrible, but also Jesus is above that.
Praying does help a lot, but honestly for me, my mental state was really hard to like stay stable. As for my physical state, like working out is obviously a really good way to keep that going, but for mental state, it's really hard, especially when like there's a really limited amount of people you can really talk to. But like Bailey said, praying is a really good way to keep that. One thing that you need to remember through all of this is that it's gonna end someday. So as far or as close as that day may be, just like hang in there. It's gonna be over soon, or maybe far from now, you don't know. But just pray that it'll be over soon and like do your best to keep up all the rules that have been put up just to help get rid of it quicker.
I would like to tell you to keep fighting the good fight and that there is hope. I think one thing that I wish I could change, I can't, but maybe is a lot of the hateful language on both sides of people who are like pro-social distancing, pro-mask, and then people who are like anti. I don't know, it became a very like black and white discussion, and there's a lot of anger within the ambiguity. And so I wish that that's something that I could change and help people to like love and respect each other in their decisions, but it's bigger than me.
Kind of similar to yours actually, like you can't change it, but like I wish we didn't really have to distance because I do miss like being close to a lot of my friends and hugs and stuff. It's really hard to do that now without someone yelling at you, telling you no, and even with the virus, like you just know in the back of your mind like you shouldn't be doing that. So I really wish I could do that again.
One way that COVID affected the way that I pursue music is at the program that I'm currently working at, all of our music programming has been canceled. And so our semester would typically look like us leading the students in worship and in singing. COVID affected my practice as a musician is that in the program that I'm working at, originally was hired on to lead students in music and in worship. And then because of COVID and social distancing and mask rules, we actually had to cancel our music program.
Well, definitely at school, like at least I finally joined like 2 choirs I really wanted to join in middle school, but instead of being able to meet like in the mornings where they would normally have them, we have to meet on Zoom, which isn't really as convenient. Like it's still fun, it's just not as fun as I think it would have been. I do definitely miss like being able to just like do band and sing and like do choir and all of those things that you can't do now because like you have to sing obviously, and like sometimes even for auditions and stuff I've had to do this year, I've had to wear masks while singing, which makes it really awkward. So I miss being able to do all of that stuff without the distancing and masks.
Yeah, I think similarly for me, being like the performer on the stage, I don't have to wear a mask, but the people in the audience do. And so knowing that there's like that disconnect where it's actually like uncomfortable for them to sing, where every time they're breathing in, part of their mask is like going into their mouth, you know? It just takes a lot of the freedom away in music. I think if there's one thing that I could change about this season, it would be our ability to connect through music. COVID and quarantine has really kind of handicapped the way that we're able to connect through music, and so I wish that if I could change one thing, it would be that.
I think one thing I really want to change is like online concerts, like where you have to record yourself and then they make like a mix of that and then show it to people. Like sure, they're fun, but you can't talk to your friends during those. You can't see how everyone's reacting and all of that. So I really wish there's a way to do that without like the online part of it.
Terima kasih sudah mendengarkan wawancara kami di Arizona. Semoga semua juga menikmati pemandangan Arizona, bukan cuma dengar wawancaranya aja. Stay safe, keep wearing your mask, keep sanitizing your hand, and hope everybody have a better 2021.